Thanks for joining another iTWire video. Today we're talking to a couple of top new game developers. On my left here I have Matthew Hall. He's a game developer at Klick, Tock, and he's one of the co-creators, well, the one co-creator of Crossy Road. The other co-creator on our right is Andrew Sum. He's from Jigxor, and together Matthew and Andrew have created Hipster Whale and published the game themselves. So welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks.
And please tell us a little bit about yourselves before we get into the rest of the questions.
I'm 39. I live in the country and I've been making video games since I was 8 years old. Professionally since 2001, and I went independent, so I've been making games just as a solo entity since 2008. And we formed Hipster Whale 2 months ago, not very long.
And what was your first computer?
It was a Commodore 64. Yeah.
And
traditional.
Andrew, what was your first computer?
Oh, it's hard to remember. Some sort of Windows 95.
Right.
I think.
Yep.
As you can tell, there was a big age gap between us.
Yeah, I'm a bit younger. I'm 24. And yeah, I've been making games as a hobby for most of my life. And then in about 2008, I started making commercial PC titles. So Crossy Road's my first mobile game. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've only just been exposed to the game, and I can already see it's one of those instant classics. It's so easy to play, tap the button, and make the little guy run across the screen. I didn't realise you can not just go left and right, you can go backwards as well. So there's a lot of, it's much more advanced than you would sort of think at first glance, and extremely addictive. But what gave you guys the idea for this title? I mean, it looks a bit like Frogger, but so much more.
Well, it's probably less like Frogger and more like Flappy Bird to us. I mean, I'm sure everyone has heard of Flappy Bird, the phenomenon,
and all the clones,
the phenomenon of 2014. It was really inspiring to see that game done by one guy out in Southeast Asia and just destroy the App Store charts. And since that point, there's been a lot of these fun arcade titles have found the way to the top of the chart. And we wanted to make a game like that, but not be a Flappy Bird clone. Yeah,
like every other Flappy Bird clone.
Exactly. There was large sums in them. We wanted to make a game that had the spirit of Flappy Bird, but not look exactly the same.
And any thoughts from you, Andrew? I mean, you know, on the whole Flappy Bird inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we wanted to make a game that appealed to a wide audience and try and reach as many players as possible. So that was really important for us as well in terms of the art style and that just letting lots of people play.
Yeah, and it sort of has that element of the endless runner in it. Because
it does. It's inspired by a lot of endless runners, such as Subway Surfers and Temple Run are the other two really big hits, and we took a lot of cues from those as we were going. So it's one part Frogger, one part Flappy Bird, and then all these disparate influences. I play a lot of video games, as does Andy. Sure. Too many video games.
Now I can see on the left here we have the chicken, and the chicken is the main character, the one that comes with every copy.
That's right.
And of course the game is called Crossy Road. So you have to ask the question, why did the chicken cross the road?
Why did the chicken cross the road? Well, there is no other side. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, in the background I can see, yes, he gets to the other side, but there's always more sides to go to.
One day we probably will program in another side for him, but there's not one there yet.
Now, incredibly, this game has only been available for the last 4 weeks, right?
That's right, yeah.
So you were saying before it took you only 6 weeks to create the game?
It was 6 weeks we got to the first version of it, and then we took a look at one another and went, this is actually shaping up pretty well, so we threw another 6 weeks onto it. So it was 12 weeks total up to the day where we submitted it.
And then it's been on the market for the last 4 weeks?
4 weeks now.
And so how many downloads?
Just crossed 10 million.
So that's a bona fide hit.
That is absolutely 100% a hit, yes.
Now, one of the reasons we're here today is because you've finally launched the game for Android, but there's a bit of a slight twist there. Tell us about that.
We've launched on the Amazon App Store first, as opposed to jumping onto Google Play immediately. Yeah, Amazon were one of the first people to. I have some people over there I know, and I showed them the game very early on, and they were really excited about it, particularly for the Fire TV. And so we've been working with them for quite a while now, bringing it to Amazon first.
And so when does the exclusivity period end, and everyone on the general store can get it?
Not much longer, so January 8th.
Yes.
Well, it's a coup for Amazon, the Amazon store in the meantime.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll get a lot of downloads.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
And so it's free to download.
That's correct, it's a free game. Yep.
Well, no doubt you'll hit another 10 million very quickly.
Probably more.
I'm sure, probably a lot more.
Yeah.
So what about, we have the problem on Android of fragmentation. I see a lot of complaints especially for, really top games with really graphical demands that works fine on your Galaxy S5s and your HTC One M8s and, all the Galaxy Note 4s.
Yeah.
But what about lower Androids?
Well, it's often vice versa. Like when we launched, we were having trouble on the higher end devices.
Right.
Yeah. The Android fragmentation can make it's just unpredictable. So that's why we got the game out there and all right, let's see what's going on, and then we fixed it up, and it's pretty good now. We haven't had many. Seems like everything's settled and everyone's enjoying it now.
Yeah, it took a little while to fix out some of those bugs on a few devices, but after a while, it turned out okay.
It can be pretty complicated. Debugging things. With Apple, there's only a handful of devices, and with I don't need to tell you how many Android devices there are. There is a lot.
Yeah, and in the background, we must be seeing one of the ads that plays in the middle of the game.
No.
That was just you.
Was that an ad? I wasn't actually watching. It was.
Yeah, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. No.
Yeah,
there's ads in the game.
That's right. We monetize the game through in-app purchases. So although any of the characters you can actually get for free,
if you get enough coins playing the game.
That's right. Yeah, you play a little slot machine and the characters spin out, or you can buy your favourites in advance.
But they're just 99 cents.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, there is one premium character, the piggy bank, that everyone asked for.
Yeah.
So we put that in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. How much is that one?
That's $4.99 Aussie.
Yeah.
Yep. So the character's $1.29 Aussie, and then this character's $4.
And what does the piggy bank give you? That's special.
So the free coins that you get greatly increase, and the piggy bank's also a very fun character, and we throw in some coins as well.
Yeah. Now, what were some of the challenges in developing the game? Some of the roadblocks in that 6 weeks intense period. I think you were mentioning logs. We're seeing logs right behind us there.
Yeah. I think most of the development went pretty smoothly, but those logs are really difficult to code. I think one of the hard things about them was, when you jump on them, you're kind of going off that grid that you normally have. So there's a lot of time trying to work out where you should go when you jump on, because you kind of snap to the right position.
And we had the character falling through the log for weeks. I was
just kept coming on.
Yeah, I wasn't in a good place, but I eventually solved it. The logs are all
and it's fine now. You can see it's fine.
It works finally.
Now, I remember in the press briefing we had before, you mentioned there was a number of things that you had thought of that fell off the list, that sort of on the to-do list. So what's a feature, a coming feature that you can share without giving too many secrets away?
Well, we have a lot of characters on our list, probably at least 50 ideas there that we can churn our way through, and we come up with new ones every day. I came up with one just on the plane this morning. 2 on the plane this morning.
Cool. Yeah.
And then one thing that's really interesting about the game is people are playing it in different ways, so with ways we weren't expecting. So some people are saying, all right, let's get out a stopwatch and see how quickly you can get to 100. So it's sort of this death run through through traffic.
It must
be
fun
that's a really good idea. So we want to add characters that specifically allow you to play that way. So the old leaderboard goes away, and in comes the new. It can then time you with a stopwatch, and hopefully people will enjoy that sort of thing.
And it's a nice way of adding extra functionality and features to the game that people have already downloaded.
And if we drive that through the creatures as well, the idea of the characters being different, I think that's a really nice, fun, organic way of doing it. Yeah.
Are you already working on your next game, or are you too busy with this one?
I think we've been working on our next game even since the middle of Crossy Road.
Started talking about what we wanted to do next.
There's sort of this point in game development where you wish you would be doing anything else. It's like development hell, they call it.
Yeah.
And at that point, you actually get some of your best ideas. Man, if we did that instead of this. So we have a number of ideas there. One in particular we'd quite like to flesh out, but it's too early to talk about at the moment.
I can imagine. And so, what advice do you have for other game developers, or for kids who want to become game developers? I mean, really, this is also an example of a successful startup.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, I'd say for kids, just keep playing lots of games and start making games as well, because there's a lot of really good tools out there that anyone can pick up. You don't really need programming experience. They can all sort of lead you in with visual tools and that sort of
thing. And what's an example of some of these tools?
Scratch? Is that one?
Scratch
Junior?
Yeah, Scratch Junior is like one that requires no visuals at all, and then there's Scratch.
And that runs on PC?
Then there's Game Maker.
Yeah, Game Maker's a good one if you're a bit older.
People still use Game Maker to make professional
games. And this runs on PCs?
PC and Mac.
Yeah.
And
we use Unity 3D, which is again, kids could pick that up.
Yeah,
that's
a little more complex, but
just a
you
little
could
more
definitely
complicated.
pick it up.
But it's fine.
Sure. So seeing all the what some of the other games have done out there. When are we going to see Crossy Road cartoons on TV, Crossy Road movies, Crossy Road plush toys, and Crossy Road Happy Meals?
So you want us to just take over the world?
Angry Roads.
Angry Birds was a pretty big hit by the time they managed to do that. And I guess in some ways we're well on the way to that because we were a free title. 10 million is a lot, and it took Angry Birds a lot longer to get to there because of the 99-cent barrier.
Yeah.
We're definitely interested in taking the brand into all those aforementioned things, I guess watch this space. Really, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
But I could easily see plush toys of all these different characters.
We had an enormous number of requests, essentially from day one, for a soft, fuzzy chicken.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do that. Yeah.
So you've been very generous with your time, and I really thank you for it. Any final messages for iTWire readers and for your current and future players?
It's a difficult question, isn't it? Any final messages? I guess make sure you definitely check out our game. It's a lot of fun. It's good that a game of, Crossy Road was essentially just made by the two of us and our artist friend Ben, and yet we're able to compete on the App Store with the giants, and we're just a small little Aussie team. I think that's
based in Melbourne.
Andy's based in Melbourne. I'm out in the sticks.
Yep.
I'm an hour and a half from Melbourne. I think it's really rewarding that with our ideas we've been able to compete in a space dominated by the sharks.
Yeah,
it's good. It's great.
Any comments from you, Andrew?
No, I'd just say thanks for checking out our game, and
thanks for 10 million downloads.
Well, congratulations to you both, Matthew and Andrew. Thank you very much.
Thank you.